over in freelancing, like in Upwork and freelancer.com and all these different websites, we see so many job openings for virtual assistants. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to become a virtual assistant. This is just a brief overview, of course, for a short video, and you'll learn in this video the who, the what, the where, and how of virtual assistant work for you to decide whether this is a field you should pursue or not. We're not going to go in depth, but hopefully you're gonna figure out and make that decision. Should I learn more about becoming a virtual assistant, or should I look elsewhere? So first of all, what is a virtual assistant? It's someone who helps an online business manage their everyday tasks. It's just like a personal assistant. A personal assistant helps a business owner manage their tasks, but you're just doing it online instead of offline. So that's the big difference here and why it's called virtual assistant and not personal assistant. Why do companies hire virtual assistants? So company owners don't have the time and the energy to do everything they want and need to do. They don't have time to work on the emails, work on the social media, work on the Google AdWords, work on the blog, work on their videos, work on their podcast, work on their bookkeeping and accounting, and do all these different things. That's why they hire virtual assistants to help with some of the things that they need to do, but somebody else can do it for them, so that they can spend the time growing the business and enjoying themselves. Why should you become a virtual assistant? Well, it's relatively easy to do. Virtual assistant work is a lot easier to do than SEO work or writing work or social media marketing work. And every business needs a virtual assistant, at least every business that's growing. Of course, if a business is very new, they just started today, they don't need a virtual assistant right away. But if they're successful, if they're growing, if they're doing a lot of things, then they need a virtual assistant. And I personally have a couple of virtual assistants working for me as well. Why should you not become a virtual assistant? Well, it can get boring. For some people, not for everybody. Some people really enjoy the work and they love learning these different things, but it can get boring for some people because the work is relative, like we said, it is easy. So the downside to the work being easy, it can get boring for some people. And the room for growth isn't very high. Your chances of becoming a manager are lower in the virtual assistant space. However, what you can do is you can learn other skills. So you can start off as a virtual assistant and learn other skills so that you can grow in that other area. Another reason why you shouldn't become a virtual assistant is because you might be tied to a schedule. A lot of companies, a lot of clients prefer the virtual assistants to work at the same hours, or at least similar hours that they are working. So that, when they send a message, when they want to call you and talk to you and ask you to do something, you're there for them. So you might be tied down to a specific schedule. And if you're in the Philippines working for a client in the United States, that might be at nighttime, local time in the Philippines. What skills do you need to become a virtual assistant? Well, basic computer skills are important. Email, how to do emails, how to use Office applications, research, so on and so forth. And basic communication skills are important because your clients will be giving you different kinds of work. They'll be asking you to do a lot of different things. So you have to have that basic communication. Who should become virtual assistants? Those that are new to freelancing I highly recommend you start off with virtual assistant work because it's easy to get into rather than starting with something hard. Start with something easy like virtual assistant work. And especially if you don't have any strong skill sets yet, like if you're not a graphic designer or you're not a web designer, then you can start with a virtual assistant work first and then learn these skill sets before you proceed into other fields. It's also for those that want easy, well-paying online jobs. So they're easy to do. They're not extremely well-paying. You won't become rich by doing virtual assistant work unless there are some exceptions to the rule, of course. But in most cases, you'll be able to have a well-paying job. You'll be able to live comfortably. You won't go on vacations every month, but you'll be okay, and it's easy to do. What tools do you need? So you should have Google Mail, you should have Gmail, you should be able to use Google Docs and Microsoft Office, you should have an internet browser, of course, and a computer. You can't do this kind of work, or it's going to be very hard to do this kind of work on cell phones or iPads and things like that. And there are also various other tools that companies and clients will ask you to learn. So you have to be pretty flexible and have basic computer knowledge so you can learn these different tools. Where do you find jobs? On Upwork, on Freelancer, on onlinejobs.ph if you're a Filipino. There's Fiverr, there's Guru.com, there's Hubstaff Talent, where there are a lot of virtual assistant jobs. And if you want to learn more about becoming a virtual assistant, if this is something that interests you, head over to our free VA course, freevacourse.com, so that you can get a free 5-day course with a bunch of videos on how you can start becoming a virtual assistant. We have some guides there, very good. A lot of people love that course, so check it out on freevacourse.com. Now I want to ask you, what would you like to learn about more? Just comment below in the comment section to let me know what you'd like to learn about more. And if you have any questions about virtual assistant work, just feel free to ask, and we will respond as soon as we can. I'll see you later.